Okay, so someone says that they've gotten some negative energies, and since they've drank an ayahuasca, and I was told it's because ayahuasca breaks your energy field down, and have been suffering daily since, and and it's kind of at my wit's end, and I can actually assist you with that, brother. Good question though, or good comment. A few things you should know. First of all, now, there's been a whole craze on drinking the tea and drinking the diamond tree or smoking diamond tree or whatever. And that same craze existed with LSD and many other substances. So I'm definitely not here to say that a person should not have an experience or should have an experience. It's really something that generally calibrates itself for the person. But if you stand at the door and knock, meaning that if you keep beating down the door, like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, then sometimes you can throw things out of sync because it's more like, you want to make it happen. Okay. So let me just explain that to you. There's like a synchronicity, as we call it. So with certain substances, they're really tied into synchronicity. Ayahuasca is, DMT definitely is. These are synchronistic kind of substances because they move in a different space of time. So generally you're like telling yourself to do it from the future. But some people prematurely interrupt that process, as I called it, interrupting the process of the observer, because they want to do something so bad that they keep forcing it to happen. And then they break the link of time, because that's a part of our power, because we can basically start to visualize whatever we want, like the law of attraction, whatever. And if we do that strong enough and we get enough resonators around us, we can actually make that happen before maybe it's even supposed to happen. So when you're dealing with substances that are time machines like DMT and ayahuasca, that can happen at any point or more often sometimes than not if one is approaching the medicine, not only, let's say, the wrong way, but possibly through others that have the wrong idea of what the medicine is about. And this leads to just the all-time statement: you may not want to sit and drink with everyone. And this is because, yes, when you do open your consciousness, you basically unpack, and you're unpacked in the astral right there in front of everybody else that's also unpacked. So sometimes when packing up begins to happen, you're coming back down and, going back in through the layers and the shells and forming yourself back together, etc., that others' stuff gets stuck into your meshwork, okay? And then you come back feeling like you have something else going on. I won't say it's a negative thing. I won't say if it's a positive thing. So I can get you right to the solutions. The solutions are really being proactive about, first of all, learning who the elders are in many of the cleansing processes, like sage, Palo Santo, Sananga, like all those elements are there for you. That's why they, a lot of these don't have a tendency to cause, let's say, psychoactive effects, because it's not all about the psychoactive effect. It's also about the entire environment that's built around that psychoactive effect. And so, again, now with the recovery process, if you have other energy that's actually inside of your field, you now need to basically start, I call it corner to corner. It's like what you do with your house is you take some sage, take your Palo Santo, you get the smoke going, and you start corner to corner, basically moving the energy out of the space. Then what you do is you don't allow people to come into the space, this is your house or whatever, with their shoes on, because this is a very easy way for the energy to get back into the space, because it's all resonance. The energy feels like that it's beginning to resonate, and it's just like a magnet. It just wants to go back to where it resonates. So how you remove that kind of resonance is that you just change the field to, let's say, the guardians that are responsible for sorting things out. And it's as simple as that. And then you claim it and it's done, because also when there's spell work that's done in circles, the most destructive part of spell work is the person's belief in the spell. So in every tense, you want to go through your clearing process. You want to also take the body and take it through a process like magnesium salt, magnesium bath, Himalayan salt bath, something that's going to allow the charge, because entities are basically charged, whether it's one electron missing from the field, etc., but they're charged. So what happens is that the charge goes into the salt, and then anything that is not a core part of the structure in which you call you will basically cling to that and then go down the drain. So hopefully that's a good starter for getting the energy clear. And word to the wise, don't sit with everybody. You know, like there's some places that, you know, it's just too many people. You opened up 100 people around you. Some folks just trying it. They've been on all sorts of substances, and, you know, maybe you're at a singing festival or, you know, something. It's just lots of people around. You know, sometimes not a good look to just unpack. Take your clothes off in front of, or take your skin suit off in front of everything. So